What it do, what it do. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel at TaeLucianoMEDIA. That's TaeLucianoMEDIA. It's been a long day. Um, long day. I was just watching a video from Gully TV. Shout out to Gully TV. Gully TV is somebody that's been rocking with me. I've been rocking with him for years. You know, especially when it comes to this YouTube space, it's the YouTube streets. And the video I just seen from Gully TV, I guess somebody maybe a couple of days ago or earlier, I don't know, whenever it was, had asked him basically like, what is the, not craziest, I forgot what word or term he used, you know, like what is, basically like what city you'd have been to been the most is kind of like stood out, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and I'm just strolling through and, you know, he said Detroit. So definitely shout out to Gully TV. But everything, and make sure y'all go subscribe to Gully TV. But everything he was saying in that video, and it's about about 26 minutes, a couple of seconds long. You know, because he really could have went in, you know what I'm saying, because of where the city is at. But, you know what I mean, he definitely gave us our props, you know, and Gully has given us props plenty of times. He done, you know, documentaries about certain people that once was well known here, you know what I'm saying, on a few different individuals, you know what I mean? But everything he was saying in that video, Gully TV was definitely right. You know what I'm saying? We always been a hustling ass city. We gonna get to it by any means. You know what I mean? By any means, you know what I mean? And it's Detroit dudes posted up everywhere. You know, posted up every single where. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is though. Detroit has always been a hustling city, gonna get to it, you know what I'm saying? On the flip side of that though, it is grimy. And we just don't take no prisoners. You know what I'm saying? We don't take no prisoners, you know? We don't, you know, but we gonna get to it though. And the thing about us is that pretty much everybody is a hustler in their own way, in their own right. You know what I mean? And the history of Detroit goes far beyond than, you know, what y'all see or hear about. You know what I'm saying? Our history go all the way back, honestly, to like the 20s. Really be before the 20s. Really, I don't even want to sound like I'm a, you know, like history class, but really it go past that. It go all the way back like on some 1800s, mid 1800s type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I was watching a video on YouTube and about my city, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, dudes was getting busy and I didn't even know this until like about two and a half weeks ago. Like, even in the 1800s, late 1800s, dudes was getting busy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, our city has always been kind of controlled by the underworld. You know what I'm saying? We probably like the only like city, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really even, me myself, consider Detroit as a major city, say like New York, Atlanta, you know, well, yeah, New York, Atlanta, LA, Chicago, Miami. You know what I'm saying? We are, but then again, we not compared to the other cities and states I just named off. You know what I mean? Not like back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, hell yeah, but like now, I don't I don't consider Detroit as like a real major city. You did. Maybe some people do, but I really don't. Maybe because I'm from here. But Detroit, we always done, you know, like we always been some hustling dudes, hustling people. Go, you know, not even go all the way back to that time frame, but if you look at the 70s and the 80s, you know what I mean? If you know, you know. If you know what I mean? Like, we had dudes late 60s getting money and going, flying to other states and Cali and New York and Boston, you know what I'm saying? Like, if niggas know, niggas know. You know what I'm saying? And niggas from other states know what's up. Niggas know what's up. Like, you know, niggas been getting money for a long time around in Detroit. From YBI to Maserati Rick to the Chamberlain brothers to Big Meats, man, you know what I'm saying? To the Curry brothers, to, you know what I'm saying, everybody, you know what I'm saying? So many people. And those are just the ones that's known, but Detroit been getting to it far as just having a swagger, being very just tapped in with the culture, with the fashion, from the Maury Gators to the furs. You know what I'm saying? I do truly feel like we definitely one of the first cities to really wear and rock Cartier glasses. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really one of the first cities, hands down, to really rock Cartiers. You know what I'm saying? To really rock Cartier glasses, period. Like, we been rocking them shits, I want to say probably since like the 80s. A lot of people have, though. A lot of cities, a lot of states, you know what I'm saying? But we definitely one of the first. You know what I'm saying? Our Sons to the Pellies. You know, Pelly always been like a New York staple, but we've been getting money, you know. Well, back then it was more hustle. Now, you know, of course, over the years, the hustles and change and all this and that. But the thing about it is that, you know, Detroit just has a crazy history about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's Detroit dudes everywhere. That's the thing about it. Like, it's Detroit dudes everywhere. It don't matter where you go. If you go to Virginia, and that's another thing. Shout out to my dog, IQ Shaheed, because he from VA. You know what I'm saying? But I was watching Gully TV video, and he was just talking about how he got a homeboy from Virginia. Gully is from, I think, PA. Yeah, Gully is from PA. That his homeboy from VA was telling him, I don't know how soon, I don't know when it was, but was telling him like, yeah, you know, I guess his homeboy was down there doing his thing or whatever, and was telling him like, yo, we trying to keep a low profile. It's some Detroit cats down here just flossing and doing this, doing that. And it's just funny. And I know he's telling the truth, because it's like, I know he don't have no reason to lie about it. But then also it's like, he's definitely telling the truth, because that's us. Like, we're going to go anywhere and we're going to be known. You know, you're going to know us. You know what I mean? Far as certain slang words, the way niggas dress, the way niggas talk, and you know what I'm saying? And then, like, you know, you gotta remember, like, Detroit is a, you know, home of the players and pimps and hustlers. If you know, you know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I did, you feel me? Like, I ain't about to eat, but yeah, Detroit is home of the players, pimps, and hustlers. Hands down. Every city, every state got his own niche, you feel me? But we definitely home of the players, pimps, and hustlers. But you know, like I said, we got a crazy history. It's been we been in the underworld for many years. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know, you know. But I didn't want to make this too long of a video. But definitely shout out to Gully TV for bigging us up. You know what I'm saying? Keeping us on the radar. You know what I mean? We definitely hustlers from east to west, west to east. Definitely not afraid to get to it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us grew up in poverty, as well as others in other states. But like, you know, everybody's poverty level is different in every state and every city. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? We come from the era of, you know, a lot of us come from the era of true hustlers, true money getters. You know what I'm saying? I can remember the times watching my cousin pull up, you know what I'm saying, in different whips. You know, from the Range Rover with the Giovanni star rims on there to the, nigga had the Navigator when the Navigator first came out in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? I can remember niggas pulling up in Jaguars with 22s on them, and you know what I'm saying? And I can remember he was actually, and this is the honest God truth, my cousin, which now he lives in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, Georgia or whatever. If I'm lying, I'm flying. You feel me? I can remember back in 2006, 2007, my brother and my cousin used to throw parties together, like every Tuesdays and Saturdays, dead ass, right? And I remember being outside. They about to get ready, take off. At this time, I'm like 17, 18, you feel me? And I just remember being outside on the block, chilling, summer day. It's probably around, like, it's pretty much dark. So it's about 9:30, 9:35, something like that, right? And I can remember him pulling up, like, yeah, showing me the buffs at the time. I'm like, damn, them Cardis. He's like, no, these Buffaloes. And he breaking all this shit down to me, like, yeah, they call them buffs because you know what I'm saying? Because the tusk of the buffalo, you know what I'm saying? So all the tusk of the buffalo horn and all this and that. And this is like 2006, you know what I'm saying? Like 2006, and this is right before my first son was born. And I remember him having them shits, him showing me the receipt and everything, like 2600 and some change, probably rounded off about 27, you know what I mean, from everything, you know what I'm saying? And I was just remember seeing him back then, and even when he was the first person I seen with some buffs, and probably like a year or two later, everybody was on them. Everybody. I mean, like, everybody was on them. And then I could just, I could remember that shit so vividly, you know, like crazy vividly. I could remember that. But, you know, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel at TaeLucianoMEDIA. That's TaeLucianoMEDIA. Once again, shout out to Gully TV for bigging up my city. You know what I'm saying? Really showing love. He done been here several times. You know what I mean? A lot of people from my city and always showing love to my city. So definitely shout out to Gully TV. But like I said, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, to TaeLucianoMEDIA. That's TaeLucianoMEDIA. Peace.